Jubilation Derby time right here.
Shansky from Kent. Where's Braylon at? He is sponsored tonight by Complete Towing and Advanced Auto Parts. Give a nice round of applause. After Braylon, we have number 5, Gunnar Hoy from Alliance. Where's Gunnar at? He looks like an experienced demo driver right there. Numbered little 70, we have Kylie Hamrick from Rootstown. Proudly sponsored by Mom and Dad. Number 11, we have Nolan Hamilton from Randolph. Where's Nolan? Number 23, we have Parker Brown from Randolph. Nice round of applause for Parker. In the purple Jeep, we have Caden Schrader from Suffield. Caden sponsored by Verizon. They're getting the big bucks right there. In the blue Rhino, we have Parker Lemaster from Kent. GDI is Caden's sponsor, or Parker's sponsor, I'm sorry. In the white and black Jeep, we have Devin Fowler from Akron, sponsored by Cash for Clunkers. So if any of your Power Wheels get scrapped tonight, maybe Devin will hook you up with some cash. In the blue Jeep, we have Shane Lang from Akron. Where's Shane at? Wave to the crowd, Shane. In number 16, we have Malcolm Miller from Lake Marsh, proudly sponsored again by Mom and Dad. There's a lot of sponsorship money going in from Mom and Dad. In 708, we have a McKenna Step from Ravenna. McKenna's got a fan club. She is sponsored by Hardcore Inc. and Mac It. In 1X, we have Mitchell Adams from Suffield. Mitch is a veteran driver. He is proudly sponsored by Voyers Construction and Eldrith Photography. Wave to the crowd, Mitch. In number 1, we have Kat Taylor from Suffield. Kat is also sponsored by Eldrith Photography. In number 6, we have Aleutian Taylor from Suffield. Again, sponsored by Eldrith Photography. In 3107, we have Mallory Heater from Alliance. Mallory is sponsored by Tar Heel Roofing, and she is a veteran driver. Good luck, Mallory. Number 2, we have Dominic Alstott from Talmadge. Where's Dominic? Number 100, Olivia Seiler from Barberton. She is sponsored for Cash for Clunkers. She's going to give Devin a run for her money. In 512, we have Waylon Smith from Wyndham. Waylon is sponsored by Oakways Photography and Hot Blonde Salon. Number 12, we have Naughty Nick from Akron. Not quite sure if that's the right name. Nick is sponsored by the Bridgers and Uncle Keith and Aunt Connie. Number 13, the Gabinator. Where's the Gabinator at? Right there. Wave to the crowd. I don't have a number for Vanessa, but where's Vanessa Miller? There we are. Vanessa Miller's from Lakemore. Wave to the crowd, Vanessa. In number 11X, we have Paige Eldrith from Suffield, Ohio. Paige is sponsored by Eldrith Photography and Voyers Construction. Next to her, we have number 23X, Carly Eldrith from Suffield, Ohio. And she is also sponsored by Eldrith Photography and Voyers Construction. I hope all kids out there have a safe ride. Can everybody give these future drivers a nice round of applause and cheer on your favorite driver? Good night.
3, 2, 1. Let them go, and they are off and running in this Power Wheels event. And we do have 21 drivers out there, actually 23 battling it out, and already one up and away. The blue ox up on the backside there, but it looks like he's one tough customer hanging in there. We still have all 23 of them still going strong. Now, if you do have a youngster that might be interested in getting into this type of a event, all you have to do is have an old Power Wheels vehicle sitting around. This does give something for the youngsters to do while their older brothers, parent, what have you, is going to be working on their derby car. So it is nice that the young ones can get involved in this. You can see that they do add a few modifications to these, such as the stacks coming out of the hood. They do paint them up, add the number sign, put some stickers on it, what have you. They don't really do a lot of other modifications aside from maybe changing the battery out. You can go to like a lawn and garden style battery, but that's just about all they want to do. Right now it looks like so far maybe only one currently off the pace right now, but running back down we have Vanessa Miller out of Lakemore, the Gavinator on the 13. Naughty Nick is on the 12 out of Akron. Waylon Smith on the 512 out of Wyndham. Oliver Seiler on the 100 out of Barberton. Dominic Alscott on the number 2 out of Talmadge. Mallory Heath on the 3107 out of Alliance. Cat Taylor on the 1 out of Suffield. We have Olyette Taylor out of Suffield on the number 6. Mitch Adams on the 1X, also out of Suffield. McKenna Stepp on the 708 out of Ravenna. Malcolm Miller on the 16 out of Lake Marsh. Shane Lang out of Akron on the blue Jeep. Devin Fowler on the white and black Jeep. Devin running out of Akron. Parker Leadmasters on the blue Rhino out there that was up on the back there earlier. Parker running out of Kent. We have Caden Schrader out of Suffield on the purple Jeep. Parker Brown out of Randolph's on the number 23. Nolan Hamilton out of Randolph as well as on the number 11. Callie Hamrick's on Little Cindy out of Rootstown. Gunnar Hoy on the 5 out of Alliance. And finally, Braylon Rashansky out of Kent on the Hummer out there. So again, it looks like just about all of them, but possibly one still running right now. Maybe 2 of them are off the pace. Again, they are going to give this just about 10 more minutes here. They have a timed event on this. Not going to take it down to the last one running, but again, it is a timed event tonight. Once again, all the Demolition Derby action brought to you today by Lepo Rents, East Manufacturing, and Charshone Chevy and Ford. Big thank you to them for sponsoring the Demolition Derby. Also want to thank WNIR, East, and Charshone for their sponsorship of the day here at the fair. Takes a lot of sponsorship to make these fairs the successes that they are. We certainly do appreciate all of the sponsors involved today. Once again, making sure we have all of our drivers recognized for their driving abilities out there. And we do have the number 16, Malcolm Miller out of Lake Marsh. 708, McKenna Step out of Ravenna. 1X, Mitch Adams out of Suffield. Cat Taylor is on the number 1, also out of Suffield. Alex Taylor out of Suffield on the 6. Mallory Heater out of Alliance on the 3107. Dominic Alscott out of Talmadge on the number 2. The 100 is Olivia Seiler out of Barberton. Waylon Smith on the 512 out of Wyndham. Naughty Nick on the 12 out of Akron. The number 13 is the Gavinator. And Vanessa Miller out there as well. Okay, and while this Power Wheels event is going on, we need all of the mini car drivers, all mini car drivers to the front of the vehicle lineup at this time, please. Need all the drivers in the mini car event. Please go to the front of the vehicle lineup. Now, we are going to be running this particular event both nights. Power Wheels are going to be going on both nights. The difference tomorrow night, they are going to be having the youth adult class tomorrow night. So again, that's going to be the youth compact class. Those are the drivers 14 to 18, as long as you don't have a driver's license. They can go up to the 18. But again, primarily for the drivers starting out at 14, as long as they do not have a license. Again, if you are in the compacts today, you will need to go to the front of the vehicle lineup. Hopefully you're there already. But again, they are going to be having a special meeting with the compacts first. We're down to about 3 minutes to go out here. It's about 3 to go. And if you were following along, we did have Vanessa Miller out of Lakemore, the Gavinator on the 13, Naughty Nick out of Akron on the 12, Waylon Smith on the 512 out of Wyndham, Olivia Seiler out of Barberton on the 100 was out there, Dominic Alscott out of Talmadge, Mallory Heater on the 3107 out of Alliance, Albert Taylor out of Suffield on the 6, Cat Taylor out of Suffield on the 1, the 1X Mitch Adams out of Suffield, McKenna Step on the 708, out of Lake Marsh is Malcolm Miller on the 16. Shane Lang on the blue Jeep is here out of Akron. Devin Fowler on the white and black Jeep, also out of Akron. Parker Leemaster was on the Rhino, started things out with a wild ride, driving out of Kent. Caden Schrader on the purple Jeep out of Suffield. Parker Brown out of Randolph on the 23. Nolan Hamilton out of Randolph on the 11. Well, 783, Kylie Hamrick out of Rootstown. Gunnar Hoy out of Alliance on the 5. And Braylon Rashansky out of Kent on the Hummer. And we did have the two Eldreds out there. Oh, looks like we have one getting a little bit warm out there. Just like in the big car events, things can happen. The cars overheat. That was a number 12, it looks like. That was going to be Naughty Nick out of Akron, moving his vehicle from the track at this time. But again, good practice as they graduate on up. Now, once again, they can modify these just ever so slightly. They can add a battery on there from like a lawn and garden style vehicle. They don't want them to do a whole lot. Obviously, it is just for fun out there for these youngsters to go out and have a project to do, getting their vehicle ready and going out and have a little bit of fun out on the track. Now, for the proud parents and grandparents out in the audience, we do have Mid-Vid racing videos out here capturing all of the Derby event. They're going to be capturing the entire Demolition Derby, the Power Wheels included. They can send all of that to you. $10 for a DVD. You can order it any time throughout the show tonight. They will mail it directly to your house. Again, they will be taking orders all evening long. Okay, we're down to about 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go right now. Okay, looks like the time has expired. If we can bring all of them to an end. And folks, if you can put your hands together for the next generation of Demolition Derby drivers out there. I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot from these youngsters that are out on the track in the near future. They do have the flame lit right now and that burning desire to derby it up. So I'm sure they all had a great time. Now, definitely do not leave the track until you see one of the officials. Everybody's going to be getting a trophy out there to proudly display for the time they spent out here. If you do want to have a photo up, now would be the time to do so. If you want to line them up with the trophies and what have you, all the drivers out there at the post-Derby event.
We're starting out with number 88 at Mike, Missouri, out of Ravenna, sponsored by Collision Track. Following them is going to be number 715 at Industrial, sponsored by next on 7 is going to be John Burns out of Louisville, sponsored by Collision Correct and Solomon Scrap Metal. Christoph out of Ravenna is in the 67X on 5. Gateway Cup. 0-1, Sean Petrie out of Manaway, sponsored by Sean Petrie and Gateway Cup. The 00 up next is Hot Rod out of Bristown, sponsored by Warhammer and Murray. Out of white to the number 16 out of Randolph, sponsored by Rick's Auto and Transmission. The 26 is Tyler Henrik out of Portland, sponsored by Gateway Cup. Number 19, Russ Mountain out of Atwater, sponsored by Coldplay, D-Line Construction, and Echo Lawn. Number 6 is Husky Williams out of Amador. Number 57 going on right now. That is Dale Gooden out of Akron, sponsored by. That is FuelPump.com and Radiator Rich. And a 08, that's Dale Lovejoy out of Randolph, sponsored by Auto Direct Transport. There's up to 13, Triple X, Seth Kumos out of Atwater, sponsored by King's Auto Works. Headphones and all concrete. That's Brandon Finch out of Ravenna. Looks like we need one more, making it easy. Two more. Yep, we got 17 right now. 17, need two more down. Okay, looks like that's the number 32. That's Robert here out of Toledo. That's sponsored by Dave McLean, Home Improvement. We do have the red, white, and blue 01 Andrew Miller out of Springfield Township, sponsored by Bloomers Auto Sales and North Coast. Okay, looks like all the drivers are on the track, the referees are holding the green, so let's go ahead and give them a countdown. Very quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. They are off and running. Tom Reader in the 0-1. Let's put that one to the 88. Lift things up just a little bit. And that looks like 32 for Robert Peters. Goes over Easy Cross. Finally at the pole. On that leader. And the 3-1 for that. Good. That's that. Good. It's done. 7-1-5. 2 minutes. That's a heck of a hit right there. The 7-15. Definitely shortened up a little bit. You can see the back spine on that thing. Top back. It looks like the old one. Let me go back to the seat performance. You'll find out what that way. On P-3 fire. They're going to actually hit from the 7-15 of Chris Fuller. Right now the 88 comes over and it's going to get turned around. We've got some stuff up on the timer down there. Seconds after that, the 16 ran out of time. We put the 16 into the third place right now. That's Adam White out of Randolph. Down at the far end, we have two of them on the timer at the same time. The 16 had about 10 more seconds on the timer. 10 more seconds to restart. Let's come down to the fraction of a minute sometimes. It just did. Right now, it's going to be the queen. Chris Jones in the 7-15 and Mike Missouri in the 88. Down barrel is going another lap now. Going up. And a good solid nose-to-nose hit. Mike Missouri out of Ravenna in the 88. Chris Jones out of that. It's the 7-15, just like that, not the light out of the 88 momentarily. He's trying to refire right now. Right now, advantage went to the 3 quarters in the 7-15. And there goes the flag from the middle post of the 88. So there's the middle post of the 7-15 from Miller State. That is Chris Dillers in the 7-15 out of Chesterwood. Second place in the 88 of Mike Missouri out of Ravenna. And third place, again, with just a few seconds to spare down at the far end was the number 16 of Adam White out of Randolph. Again, a few seconds was what's the difference between those last two cars. 0-1 was all those in there. Okay, starting out to be the number 19, Mike Fletcher out of Monroe, response by Harper Well and Trump. 555, E.J. Mango out of Randolph, sponsored by Mango Farms and Capital Code. 34, Jeffrey Lee out of New Falls coming on, out of sponsored by and driving out of New Falls today. 55 going to be up next. Adam Kern out of Randolph. sponsored by Manville Farm Stores, D9 Racing and Tech Engineering. 77X is Matt McGregor out of that way, sponsored by Mid-Vid Going. Oscar Reed out of Randolph on the 8X machine, sponsored by Dr. Tom Chiropractor Clinic. 57X is Robert Starker out of Medway, sponsored by D. Slip Joint and Gateway Health. All right, 05, Brianna Deems out of Barberton, sponsored by Cash for Plumbers. The 3M is Matt Heimdall out of Hartsville. Matt is sponsored by Barton Auto Service now. Number 15, Zach Kushner out of Ravenna, sponsored by the Well Doctor. 66X. There's Jeff on the Sunfield, sponsored by Harvey and Sunnyville, Golf and Ranch. Number 61 is Doug Boyd II out of Atwater, sponsored by the Well Doctor. And the 177X, Tanner Boyers out of Sunfield, sponsored by and Big Metal. First early Tanner has run here by himself. He has been in the youth adult and has moved up. The 1128, that is Derek Horning out of Forestfield. Number 83 is Jason Webb out of Atwater, sponsored by FRBR and Loving Memories, Turkey Russell and Wake Farm Supply. Number QT, Shay Singh out of Rydersville, sponsored by Mexico. 22, that's Corey Mason out of Cuyahoga Falls, sponsored by B&B Towing. 86 is Sean Miller out of Atwater, sponsored by FRPO. And Loving Memory, Russell and 76 is Justin Mason out of Cuyahoga Falls, sponsored by B&B Towing. Looks like we do have highlights by each and every vehicle that we had. We did have one scratch. One scratch. In this particular 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And off and running is number 2 of this car. head up to the and away. Still down there. Jeffrey Lee. And Marie at the 205. Out of Martin. I believe that's the 008 of Johnny Cullen. He's out of Ravenna, top 5. Number 331 is Matt Kilby out of Akron, top 5. On auto. Right here is the 8808 out of Alliance, top 5. Carfield Rookie. Now we do have the 33 Patrick Hoffman out of Melinda, sponsored by Daryl Smith and Chico Napa. Then we do have the number 44, the last one coming on right now, Dick Daniels out of Manaway, sponsored by this class, we have the 7-0 Vince Camry. In a fourth place finish out of Woodstown, followed by B-Nice Division, Ohio Home Improvement, and okay, it looks like we do have Bill Stone, who's going to be the first speed to come out, the 1811X. Here out of Suffield, side of the Rugby and keeping Holt and Doc. Corvette X is Mike Sutton out of Randolph, sponsored by Elvis. 11X is Shane Curry out of Akron, sponsored by Akron Coach Stone and Shortstop. D91, Tim Novak out of Suffield, sponsored by Elvis Photography and CI Construction. 2410, that's Barry Cat out of Sebring, sponsored by Auto Records. What's the third spin? It's 33. Next one. That is Zachary Reinhardt out of Ravenna, sponsored by Ravenna Oil Company and Big Girl Today. Okay, my name is Chris White out of Woodstown, sponsored by Tempo Restaurant and Lounge. Wayland out of Suffield, sponsored by Elvis Photography. The 538 is Shane Day out of Ravenna. 29, Dave Driver out of Canfield, sponsored by Thursday Chevrolet. Tonight. There's Zimmerman out of Atwater. All right, Liz Pratt and Anderson Auto Body. 11, John Cox out of Gulf Creek, sponsored by C&E Ford Hall. And 802, Don Nash out of Stafford, sponsored by Buzz RC Auto. 7. Okay, so that's Billy Bob on the roof down. 540 out of the wind. That's one we were missing. 540, Billy Bob. Okay, on there. Good to go. Drivers and referees all ready. Let's go ahead and give them a countdown. 36, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. They are off and running here. Thank you.